back to the grind with the only free MMA channel that fucking matters, full-time MMA. And we got the Ultimate Fighter Season 25, Episode 10 on deck. I believe this is Episode 10. It's Episode 10 or 11. Either way, it's the episode before the season finale. Next episode will be the season finale. If you remember in the last episode, Tom Diego, Toothless Tom, Diego Lima, Jesse Taylor, and James Krause all made the semifinals. James Krause suffered a scratch cornea in the fight, though, so it's undetermined whether or not he'll be cleared to fight in his finals matchup against Jesse Taylor. So, what happens is they'll have to see. He's going to talk to the doctors in between now and the next episode, so we'll find out next episode if he fights, if he's either fighting or if somebody else is going to be fighting for him, a replacement. So the first fight this episode will be Toothless Tom versus Diego Lima, the first semifinal fight to see who makes the finals. It cuts to all the fighters talking about, ooh, I want the spot, pretty much. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But it cuts to the fighters hearing about there might be a replacement fight, and Ramsey Nijum says if he doesn't get the fight, he'll be pissed off. He said he almost beat James, and James barely got the decision, so it should be his fight anyway. Well, Gilbert Hardwork ain't hearing none of that shit, because Ramsey's pissed off. He's like, I'm done with this place. This should be my spot. Blah, blah, blah. Gilbert like, man, everybody left it out there. If you lost, you lost. That ain't nobody's spot. You don't deserve the spot because you lost to Krause. You know, I lost a fight too. That should be my spot. What are you saying? And Ramsey, you know, he's like, he's not having it. He's like, fuck that. It's my spot. I'm leaving, dude. So on his way out, him and Gilbert get into an altercation, and Gilbert Hardwork Smith is in his face, and he's like, hey man, I'll beat the fuck out of you. Ramsey's like, no you won't. Hey, Ramsey held it down. Ramsey said, no you won't. He said, you'll take me down. He said, you'll take me down, the rest will fuck me. And Gilbert's like, well, I'll do it, man. And he's like, well, you gonna be able to stop me? They're going back and forth like they're about to fight. And Gilbert says it again, I'll beat the fuck out of you. Ramsey's like, no, you won't. Do it. And Gilbert just backs off, you know. Whenever somebody's in somebody's face, and you're like, bitch, do it. And then they back off like, oh, no, you're lucky people are watching. It's like, well, why'd you even say it? But it's funny because Gilbert backed down like, man, I got better things to do. And then he backs up, so it's in the middle of him, and Gilbert starts piping up again. Like, he put the stuff down, like, hit me. Like, dude, no, it's too late. You got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him, and Gilbert didn't know. Ramsey fucking called his ass and said, do it. And Gilbert just had to back on down. It was pretty funny. But, Ramsey threw a pretty funny-ass diss at Gilbert, too. He said the only thing Gilbert's fat ass is fighting is diabetes. That was pretty funny. Anyways, TJ Dillashaw's training with both guys again, so he's got to try and be unbiased. He's training with Diego Lima and Toothless Tom. Diego says everybody up to this point has slept on Toothless Tom, but he's not going to because he knows how good Tom is because he's been training with him. So if he drops Toothless Tom, he's not going to follow him to the ground. There's a prank in this show. The blue team, Team TJ, Team Killishaw, Team Snakeshaw, fuck you, Temat, dude. Team Dillashaw paints the entire red team's room blue. They're like, shit, they put a prank on us, we're pulling a prank back, and since they're all already knocked out, fuck it. Let's paint their room blue. These are both our rooms with only fighters left here. Red team walks in and he says, hey, I forgot who it was on the red team, one of them, but he says, hey, I like pranks. We've already lost enough. Now we lost our locker room. Damn. I think it was Seth Brzezinski. So Seth says, Seth and the red team are like, man, fuck this. They sit in the blue room for a little while. They're like, man, fuck this. We got to get this shit back comfortable. They weren't comfortable sitting in Team Dillashaw's room. They said, fuck the other side. So they started. Cody Garbrandt wasn't with them yet. Cody Garbrandt didn't get to see the prank. They fixed the room before Cody Garbrandt got back, and they put like snake free zone, and they put red tape on the walls and shit. So, you know, even though it had blue walls, because Team TJ, they actually painted the walls and shit. But Team Red, they just put some red paint up, you know, since those season's almost over, they didn't go out their way and paint the whole room. They just made it a little more homey in there. And snake free zones, you know, putting no snake signs on the walls and shit. So James is getting pissed off at everybody because James Krause, the guy who's injured, he starts getting pissed off at everybody because everyone's asking him, hey, how you doing? How's the eye? You think you're going to be able to fight? Hey, how's it going? And he's like, man, I know all these motherfuckers are fake. The only reason they're asking me about my eye is because they want that opportunity. So he picks a fight with Johnny Nunez and says, hey, man, did you flip me off? If you flip me off again, we'll have some problems. Because Johnny was like, why are you mugging me and shit? And so they end up getting into an altercation. They go back and forth. Johnny Nunez is like, hey, man, you flip me off, I'll beat your ass. You know, you don't flip me off. And he's like, well, I think it's some bitch shit that you're only asking me about my eye because you want my spot. Dude, you already lost. You don't deserve a spot. So just chill, leave me alone, and let my fucking eye heal pretty much. And Johnny Nunez is like, well, hey, I hear you, but you flip me off again, and we're going to have some problems. James is like, dude, I already beat you once this show. What are you talking about? Let's go. He's like, what are you saying? I already beat your ass once. So they got into a little heated altercation. They didn't really get physical or nothing. James just had enough fucking bullshit. Everybody asking him about his eye because they only cared because they want his spot. So he said, that's some fake shit, that's some bitch shit. Tom Galicchio comes in and says he wants to prove his parents and everyone else wrong. He said his parents always told him he'll only be a journeyman fighter and he doesn't need to fight. Man, he wants to prove them wrong. So he said he's going to rear naked choke his way to the finale. He said, but he doesn't feel like the underdog anymore. He feels like people are starting to bet on him, and that's not good because if you remember, he said he does the best whenever he's the underdog. So, TJ Dillashaw's team, they doing one more prank. They put real fucking snakes in Team Blue. It looks like the blue team's locker room because the walls are blue. And in Team Cody's locker room, they put a bunch of real fucking snakes in there, and hey, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have went in that room. My girl, she used to have some snakes and shit. I don't fuck with snakes like that shit. I held one once when I was drunk. I promise. She motherfucking got me drunk and had me messing with the snake, man. Next day, I was like, man, fuck. I got pictures with the snake and shit. Online, like, damn, man, what the fuck was I doing? Anyways, I digress. They put real snakes in the locker room, and Cody comes on here and he kills it. He fucking kills it because TJ's like, man, they're unoriginal. All they can do is call me a snake, something Conor McGregor made up. So fuck it, I'm gonna embrace the snake. So Cody Garbrandt, they cut to a cut screen of him and he kills it. He said I wasn't able to teach TJ. Oh, my bad. Okay. I was reading these notes. He said I wasn't able to teach TJ any loyalty this season, or I wasn't able to squeeze the respect out of his throat, but at least I was able to make him realize he's a snake. Oh damn, Cody. That might be the best shit I've heard Cody say besides hanging with the boys. That shit was funny. He said I wasn't able to teach TJ loyalty throughout the season. I wasn't able to squeeze the respect out of his throat, but at least I was able to make him realize he's a snake. Damn, let's get it. It's time for the weigh-ins. During the weigh-ins, there ain't really no smoke, no action. Dana White recaps it. He's just saying Tom's been the underdog in both of his fights, and he won both of those fights by first-round submission. Meanwhile, Diego Lima's been the distance in both of his fights, so how much does Diego really have left? That's what Dana's asking. And she cuts to Tom walking down the sidewalk, visualizing the win. He's like, you've beat better guys before. You're gonna get the takedown. You're gonna find the takedown. You will win this fight. You know, some speaking into existence shit. He's out there trying to speak his win to existence. So now it's fight time, and the winner takes home the big prize, fighting in the live finale versus to be announced. And the Ultimate Fighter finale, where Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw were supposed to fight, but it's going to be Michael Johnson versus Justin Gaethje. Hashtag check out that motherfucking Justin Gaethje battle rap. Oh, fuck. So here, it's fight time. First round was honestly pretty boring because they were just finding each other's distance and filling each other out. Diego, being the striker, had to, stuff a couple takedowns and really get Tom's distance. Tom was more just trying to think about how to go for the takedown because two of them got stuffed in the first round. So the first round wasn't the most exciting, but I would definitely give it to Diego because Tom wasn't able to get any takedowns and he got clipped up a little bit in the first round. In the second round, Diego Lima definitely had his distance. He was clipping Tom's shit up. You could tell Tom was starting to fade. Diego stuffed 2 more takedowns. Tom would have scored. It looked like he actually would have scored his first takedown of the fight after 2 of them were stuffed, but Diego grabbed the fence, which prevented the takedown. So even though it was his first warning, Herb Dean stopped the fight and took a point away from Diego Lima. I'm interested to see if anyone knows this. I didn't know that was possible. I thought you had to at least give somebody a warning for grabbing the fence first. I mean, maybe if it's a 100% stop the takedown, you just get the full point taken away. But yeah, he didn't have a warning before that or anything. He grabbed the fence and got a point taken away. So, but what that did was, because he was dominating the round, it made the round even. He went from dominating the round to losing a point and making the round even. So Diego won the first round, and the second round was a draw. But I mean, according to your eyes, Diego was just whooping Tom's ass at that point, because he was the second round was really dominant. It's just that point got taken away. So we go into a third round, because since this is the semifinals, there's 3 rounds, and the third round was actually more close. It was closer than the second round. Even though Tom was a little out of gas, he shot for a couple takedowns. He landed a couple shots. Diego definitely landed some big strikes, but he's a striker, so having Tom's distance, Tom being a little out, all Tom can is, he's trying to think to get the fight to the floor, and so Diego Lima's really able to pick him apart with the strikes until Tom's able to get the fight to the floor, which he hasn't been successful in doing. Tom actually does get the fight to the floor for the first time in the third round, but he's a little tired. He controls for about a minute, but then Diego Lima gets back up with 40 seconds left. He's hurting Tom Galicio with 40 seconds left on the clock, clipping him up, and then he scores 1 takedown at the end of the fight to pretty much secure the fight. The scorecards come in, and yep, the judges give the fight to Diego Lima, of course, and Diego Lima makes it to the finals. In the back room, Diego Lima tells TJ Dillashaw, "Man, you changed my whole game." He said he feels unbeatable now. And one thing I'll say about the fight, though, it had the rumblings of Rory McDonald versus Robbie Lawler, because Rory McDonald was a wrestler and he was getting clipped up, and you could tell, like, fuck, he's getting just clipped up here. Like, damn, he's not gonna tap the strikes, but fuck, he is getting struck the fuck up, clipped the fuck up, man. So that's what was going on here. It was like, damn, the ref had to tell him to defend himself on the feet. Like, defend yourself, and they were standing. So it was reminded me a little bit of Rory McDonald versus Robbie Lawler. But yeah, so I want to get into that. Diego Lima says that TJ Dillashaw changed his whole game on the show, and he feels unbeatable now. That's interesting, because TJ Dillashaw does seem like a really fucking good coach compared to Cody Garbrandt. I guarantee you'd be hard-pressed to see somebody from Red Team saying Cody Garbrandt changed their whole game for the better. They all fucking already lost. I mean, go ahead and say it if you want. What are you gonna say? He made you go for broke a little more, wanted you to throw him a little more, swing. TJ's teaching these guys takedowns. Look for the takedown. Always be active. Like, TJ's fucking coaching the shit out of these guys. Diego Lima even fucking admits it. You changed my whole game. That's what's up. That was good to hear. And like I said, TJ, I've been saying throughout the entire season, TJ looks like a good coach, looks like a fighter's coach, looks like a people's coach. Like, Cody Garbrandt looks like a guy that got put on the show, against TJ Dillashaw. But TJ Dillashaw actually looks like a really good coach over here. So that's all I'll say on that one. That's episode 11 or 10. I don't know exactly which one, but we'll see on the title. I don't know what else to say, man. Fuck it. It is what it is. Let the hitters know what the fuck you tell me in the comments, dude.